Talks. I'm really excited to connect with you all today. Uh, Let me see if my microphone is working. Yeah. If you can hear me in the chats section, can you please just say hello? Just say where you're watching from. I don't know. Can anyone hear me? Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, AKS. Yeah, so I could fix it. Yeah, I was struggling with the connections. Um, as always, feel free to comment and ask questions during this live stream. We will try to make it as interactive as possible. I will be responding in detail to questions some of you have asked. Due to popular demand, this live stream, I will try to feature some pictures and videos showing some of my activities in the agribusiness industry to keep you engaged. Recently, we have observed a decline in the prices of some agricultural commodities over the past month. I know this might seem discouraging, but remember, the agribusiness market has its ups and downs, and the down times are generally fewer than the up times. It isn't unusual, and it should not discourage traders from continuing in the agribusiness sector. I dropped a message in our WhatsApp group recently just to encourage you to keep trading, keep pushing, and the rewards are for those who stay in the business from the long term. Yeah, Mr. Desmond, you're welcome. Bamidele Oluwaseun, you're welcome. Chinwe Weze, you're welcome as well. Um, so now, what exactly is causing the price to crash in agricultural commodities right now? Let me start by saying low food prices are actually great for any economy. It means consumers can afford more and inflation is under control. But here's the thing, for those of us in the agribusiness space, especially local traders, what we really need is stability. Stable economic policies help us to plan, store, and sell with confidence. Without that, everything becomes a gamble. AKS from Dubai. How is Dubai? Yeah, love it. Maria King, you're welcome. Ezi Hosla, you're welcome. Matthew Olaliye, you are very welcome as well from Osun State. I'm sure I've spoken to you before. Yeah. So, without actually knowing where the price is going and doing your own research to enter the business, everything becomes like a gamble. So let's get back to the question. What is causing the price to crash? I want to break it down quickly. First, there has been a bumper harvest in key states like Taraba, Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe states. That means we have seen a flood of commodities like onions, peppers, maize, beans, and all kinds of agricultural products hitting the market all at once. Uh, Classic supply and demand. Too much supply, prices fall. Second, there's simply not enough money in circulation. People are holding back on spending. So even with plenty of food available, the purchasing power just is not there. So people are trying to just bring down their product prices because they need money. And when you need money, and again, some people are spooked by the fact they heard the price is going down. So let me just sell quickly. And the more everybody rushes into the market to sell his product quickly, it brings down the price even more and more. Mohammed Bashar from Niger State, you're very welcome. Nice to talk to you here as well. Um, People are holding back on spending, and this is one of the things as well. Thirdly, there is this recent Salah celebrations. This is Salah month. We have seen massive rise in importation. This has actually affected the demand for local grains, and it has had an effect across all the markets for rice. Uh, I don't know why. Nigerians tend to favor foreign imported rice. But personally, I think with my experience in the agribusiness sector, there is no foreign rice that can compete in terms of nutrients, quality, and value for the human being than the Nigerian rice. None. Uh, Again, there is the issue of the naira suddenly gaining strength against the dollar. Yes, there's been some reversal recently. Again, okay, dollar is getting stronger than naira, but initially the naira suddenly gained against the dollar. Now, this makes markets uncertain and traders are being cautious. Now, let me explain how this currency change is affecting many things, especially for those in storage. Let's use sesame seeds for an example. Assume that sesame seeds are priced at 1,500 naira per kilogram locally, and that's equivalent to $1. When the exchange rate is 1,500 naira to a dollar, this is the rate they buy in the market, right? Now, the naira gains and the exchange rate improves to 1,200 naira to a dollar, which is good for the Nigerian economy. But here is the thing, exporters still value that same sesame seeds for $1, which is now just 1,200, not 1,500. So local traders end up getting less in naira, even though the product itself did not change in value. They are losing value just because of the currency shift. Meanwhile, exporters are smiling to the bank because they are buying at lower prices while still selling at the global market rates. Now, don't get me wrong. A strong naira is a good thing for any economy. It helps in the long run, but in the short term, it creates uncertainty and losses for people holding goods in storage. And all of this is happening in a market that's already struggling with inconsistent policies and weak consumer spending. So, in summary, there's a lot of harvest flooding the market. Uh, Talk about security issue. Security in many states of the north that produce most of the food Nigeria consumes was very, I don't want to say very good, but was significantly better than in previous years. And many states actually specifically put effort to make sure that farmers could go to farm, they could harvest their products in peace, and all these made the products, all kinds of agriculture products, to flood the market, which is a good thing. Uh, Now, let me know in the chat, are you currently buying, selling, or just watching the market? And what do you think the CBN or the government can do to support local traders? I will look at the comments now to see your questions. Feel free to ask. Love it. You said, let me share first. Let me see. Hope I know how to operate this thing properly. Okay. Yeah. Now, in all of this business, we have seen that Egusi has shown strength. For some reason, I talk about Egusi a lot because Egusi is a product that has never failed me. It wasn't my original reason for entering into agriculture business, but Egusi has constantly brought rewards. And sometimes that's why, if you remember, I have a video talking about how I made 100 million. It was a very big surprise from Egusi, but it has constantly made me money. This year, the profit people got from Egusi is about 70% because Egusi started in August. In the types of bags you buy, they differ. Like I buy my Egusi from Nasarawa, the main town where you have the Federal Poly. I also buy from a village called Maraba Udeke. I actually lived there as well. You know, so I buy from those two places. And in Maraba Udeke, the price started at 90 to about 105,000 naira. And now, in January, when I advised people to sell, it was selling for 170,000 naira. I'm trying to see if I can share my screen. Like I said, I'm not very good with this thing. So, yeah, I don't know. Can you see what I'm sharing? I hope so. Okay. Now, historically, buying for storage is not a new concept because I've seen people who talk about, oh, it's like I'm encouraging people to hoard products. Nobody is hoarding products. Uh, Buying goods for storage has always been there. Our forefathers relied on this model, trading commodities like palm oil to support their families and educate their children. Agriculture commodities is not a marathon, it's a sprint. Um, all businesses, you buy and you want to make profit. Nobody buys a product and he doesn't want to gain from what he bought. This is a picture of a video of me in a warehouse sweating it out. So, what advice do I give for traders, especially those trading in large volumes? Advise you to lock into contracts. If you are dealing in rice, for example, connect with rice mills. They consistently need rice to keep their operations going. Nobody wants to have a factory that does not have products to process. Uh, and by the way, a lot of people have asked me about crowdfunding. They want something where people can come together and actually do business. I say it's good, but I've been researching to understand how these things work. So if you are interested in that, uh, just send me a message at info@bashone.com. Then we will form a WhatsApp group to talk about this way of scaling up businesses. And let's see, is anybody, you can't see my screen. Nobody, can't you? If you can see my screen, can you please make a mention of it? Just say yes. For those, can anyone see my screen? Oh, yes, yes. All right. Okay. So now, okay, very good. Some people have asked me, what do we do if market continues to decline? The simple answer is diversify your investments and consider storing commodities that are less volatile when market goes down. You know, sometimes it doesn't mean just running away from a product because you see a little shake in the market. You can try to understand the market, research the market, and try to find a long-term perspective where the market is going. If the market is actually going negative, there's no prospect, maybe because of economic policies in the country or security or something, anything, it could be anything, then you can pull out of the market. Sometimes market going down is even a good thing. Some people actually, there have been times that market is going down. When people are pulling out, I'm actually going in to buy more products. you know, yeah, because I have seen it that is going to rebound in the near future. And that's the difference between somebody who trades smart and somebody who just gambles. There is always something to trade at every given time. Just watch and understand the markets before diving in. Right now in Nasarawa, for example, what is trending is guinea corn. A lot of people have asked me, can they go into guinea corn business right now? Of course, if you want to take the chance on guinea corn, you can go into guinea corn. But I don't personally know about guinea corn so much, so I haven't given any clear advice to anybody whether or not they should actually go into the guinea corn business. But otherwise, that's the product trading right now in Nasarawa. So, but the key thing, do your own due diligence. How somebody asked, how can small farmers cope with these market fluctuations? Small farmers, they should consider pulling resources together. One of the things killing businesses in Nigeria is small time. Everybody is doing small time. You can have 200 people all doing small time. But if these 200 people pull resources together, then they will do one big time. And I mentioned it earlier, when you come together, set up group cooperatives or crowdfunding kind of thing. So you have a very large purse. It brings down significantly your cost of purchasing goods. Transportation comes down significantly. Everything comes down. And when there is a risk of market going down against you, you have a better buffer to withstand that stress because there's more money. And whoever has the most money is king in the business of agricultural commodities because you will know you will be in position to determine the price every stage in time. Uh, I did not reduce this volume, did I? Let's go to the next one. So, is it a good time to invest in agriculture? Somebody is asking. Wait, there is a question. Do you need to process sesame seed before selling it? Yes, nowadays, yes. Um, uh, Easy hustler, yeah. You need to process your sesame seeds now because many the market is evolving. Like when I started in Nasarawa, they would just sell in bags, so it was like a gamble, and whatever you find in the bag is what you get. So sometimes you buy a bag, goes for maybe 200,000 naira, and in that bag you weigh it, you find 114 kilograms of sesame. Sometimes you buy another bag, you find maybe 140 kilograms of sesame at the same price. So that was like gambling. So now, and the quality of sesame was also questionable. So, but now the traders or the exporters have brought a system in that, first of all, they started by scaling. Pushing the locals to use scale was very difficult because they were fighting against it. Oh, na bag with they said, na bag. No, we are not buying per bag. We are doing scaling. And when you talk about scaling, people they play with the scale again too. So, but the market now moved from just buying per bag to buying per scaling. Now the market has gone more than that. Many dealers now who buy in large volumes want you to actually process the sesame seeds before selling it to them. So when they give you money to go into the market, which they do most of the time, they work with agents. Anybody can be an agent. So they give you money and they tell you, for example, the price of sesame seeds, they know the price in the market is 1,350. They could tell you, okay, we can give you a price of 1,400 or 1,450, depending on your negotiation with them. So they expect you to take either that 50 naira or that 100 naira as your profit per each kilogram of sesame that you bring. So now, normally they will just take the bag from you from the market and pay you. But nowadays, they insist that they will give you that price on the processed sesame that they would process for you. So you will pay them to process your sesame, and they will end up doing the balancing of monies for the processed sesame you have supplied to them. So this is how many of them work now. But there are still a few who just buy it from you the way you supply it to them. But the farmers do their own processing in the farms by just sieving it. They just shake it with sieve, just the way in the olden days when we buy rice. I've seen my mom when I was much younger. She puts the rice in a tray and she kind of shakes it like this so that all the residue will leave. That is what they do to sesame from the farms. Yeah, by Saint Nimpa, sir, I have beans and beans has gone down, and we all know that it's just 1 year produce. So what do you advise? Beans has gone down. I've never done beans, but I follow the market and I understand beans was going up for quite some time. And people made money from beans last year, is what I understand. It will not go like that all the time. Every market has its peak. So if it goes up to a particular level, then nature has a way, or the system has a way of balancing it, everything. Otherwise, things will become unaffordable in the whole world. So it has to come down at some point. So the key thing for you is understanding when this particular product is going to be coming down. So you are careful about your risk and what you actually do in the business. You can diversify, go into other products. Sometimes don't be afraid to cut your losses. I have taken a loss from cashew nuts. I would do a special video on that cashew nut business. It's almost destroyed me. You know, then what happened was cashew we bought for 400, 500 naira per kilogram at that season, long time ago, ended up selling for 80 naira per kilogram. So, what was the reason? It was a combination of factors. But that's why if you're trading small, you'll be careful with your investments. When your investments start growing, then you start not putting all your eggs in one basket and seeing the future. My mistake, I was very new in the business then. It was the first time I traded cashew. And if you notice, that fear still haunts me till today. That's why I don't push a lot about cashew exports. But cashew for local trade is very, very rewarding at any time. So what I will advise you in a nutshell, Nimpa, is to try to diversify. You understand the season. When is the market starting? When does it end? When does the new harvest come in? What region are you buying from? And what type of beans are you buying? So you need to understand all these things that play around this product for you to know exactly what is the right step to take. But if you see that there is no way, then take your loss and move on. Just take your loss. Instead of having beans is a perishable product, it could get even worse. It could get bad. You could lose everything. So to prevent you from losing everything, just take your loss and move into another product. Now, somebody is asking, what are my predictions for the next quarter, for the next part of the year, given the current trends and seasonal patterns? Okay, yeah. Now, the way prices have gone down, I'm very sorry, somebody, I need to off this phone. Hello, I'm on the live call. Can you join the live call? So sorry. Now, my prediction is that the business, the commodity prices are going to stabilize, and it's not going to keep going down. It will go down to the point where it might not get as high as it was before, because it was getting to a level that was not sustainable, and there has to be a correction in the market. The way people talked about beans going up, there was definitely going to be a correction. The year I lost money in cashew nuts, it was the same thing. Cashew continued on an upward trend for like 3 years. It was getting to the point where cashew would become unaffordable even by anybody. So they had to somehow implement strategies. It was not only the strategy, because then the two major countries that import cashew from Nigeria are uh, India and Vietnam. These two countries, for some reason, we heard, I don't know if it's confirmed, that they started canceling all cashew contracts. It was a ripple effect from the government policies at that time, because the ports in Nigeria, it was very hard to get your goods across to the ports. So sometimes it takes you a week then to transport your goods from a city like Kano or Nasarawa to Lagos. But because of the bad road, it was taking almost 8 to 10 days. Then it gets to Lagos, it starts taking another 3 weeks to 1 month to get into ports. So that was some years ago. And cashew is a perishable product. So products started spoiling on transit. And of course, price was getting too high. Nobody could have high price cashew that has bad quality. So they started canceling contracts and it all crashed. So that was my lesson 101 in agriculture business. So is there any question? Let me look at the questions here. Okay. So now the economy would recover and the prices will stabilize to the point that it is affordable by Nigerians. It doesn't mean it will not still be profitable. If Egusi is selling for now a bag at 90,000, and because of the way prices are crashing in August, it starts at 50,000. It's a good thing for the economy. You will still profit from it, even if it even starts at 20,000. The correction makes the market affordable for everybody until again it starts going beyond hand, then there is a correction. So even if the market starts at 20,000 because of the depression now in the economy, or prices just going down because of bumper harvest and everything, you know, Egusi is a product that is done only one season in Nigeria. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. There's some other states doing it 2 or 3 seasons. But the only season of Egusi is harvested in August, planted in April. So, and this product is not exported in large quantities. Even though we are exporting it, we are exporting it to Nigerians in small, small quantities by air cargo. So this does not really affect the demand and supply chain in Nigeria. So that makes it a stable product that at harvest, price is low, then again, the volume quantity will be reducing in the market, but people still want to eat egusi. So what happens? Price keeps going up. And that's where you cash out of the market strategy. So someone is asking, I'm thinking of going into palm oil. Please, when is the best time to buy? I was made to understand that the rainy season is the best time to buy palm oil. I am not sure about that, but the period between now and May is what I have been told, because I've never done palm oil. If I haven't done something, I'll tell you I haven't done it. It's based on what I was told and what some of my followers. I have a particular follower from Osun State. He does palm oil. I don't know if he's on the live stream now, and he bought his palm oil in May last year. And then he bought that palm oil for about 20,000 naira max, and because you don't buy at the same price every time. So I don't remember exactly the quantity he bought, but he bought in May and in November he sold. Now we had a call, a chat together in December just to talk about his business and what's happening. And he told me that he sold his goods in November and he regrets it. And I asked him why. He told me that he sold them for 40,000 or 40 or 41,000 naira per jerry can. Meanwhile, he bought it for about 20,000. That's 100% profit, just under 6 months or 4 months. But why was he not happy? He was not happy because the price of this same palm oil went up to 60,000 just a few weeks, 2 weeks after he sold his own. So palm oil is a good product, but on my about location where to buy, I am not sure because palm oil is produced in many regions, and there are people in our WhatsApp group who have mentioned that the cheapest palm oil come from the eastern part of Nigeria. But I know they do palm oil in the south, in the west, in the east. The only place I know palm oil is not done in commercial volumes is in the northern part of Nigeria. I might be wrong, but this is what I can tell you. So a follower of mine bought in May and he sold in November and made 100% profit. It won't be all the time like that. Sometimes you can even make 200. Sometimes you can make 50, 40, 20%. That's the way the business works. But the down times are compensated for by the very high times where you actually make a lot of money. Okay. Yeah. So, love it, Maria King. Just answered your question. Palm oil is best to buy now, precisely February to March. Love it. Can I ask you what state do you buy from? And what state are you talking about for this particular season? Okay, love it. You're also asking what product can you invest on right now? Palm oil is one of them that you just mentioned. Then in Nasarawa, Guinea corn. Guinea corn is coming out. Prices are going down, so it's good to buy. Then there is this thing, locust beans. Locust beans is very profitable. Uh, is coming out now in Nasarawa. Locust beans is one of the primary ingredients, I understand, to make Maggi cube or something. They use it locally to spice up or to make food tastier. So you can research on that product as well. Locust beans and guinea corn. And what other question do we have here? Okay, Matthew Lally. Does soya beans have quick demand in selling either locally and internationally? Yes, soya beans sells very fast locally. So you have to find out what industries are processing them. I know they are consumed, but it's not a market I know too much about because I haven't done it. Like I have bought and sold locally and made money. I know 2 years ago, people in the market, some of my colleagues actually profited very well from soya beans business. Then I'm looking at the previous questions. So, how can we track prices and connect with buyers directly and even predicting? Yeah. Now, one of the reasons I created from one of the reasons I created Farm to Trade was because of the lack of market organization in Nigeria. Uh, one of my followers told me that he wanted to buy a specific product at a particular price from a specific location. And I told him that that price he wanted to buy was not the prevailing market price because he would already be at a loss. Again, I'm trying to explain the importance of actually uh, understanding what the market prices are in most of the major producing regions for that product you want to buy for storage or trade. So if you do not keep track of that pricing, you will be trading blind. For example, you live in Lagos, they sell rice. Somebody wants to sell rice to you in Lagos, for example, for 20,000 naira. But you are not aware that the rice sold in Ogun State, which is just a neighboring town to state to Lagos, is sold for 15,000 naira. So how do you now understand how this price is? Because we don't have any system in Nigeria where people get those prices. So I'm encouraging all of you to join our WhatsApp group. Send us the prices from the regions you are. You know, I'm even, I don't mind having people that we could pay to actually provide this service from at least 3 locations, 3 major locations, constantly. We have people in Kano, we have in Nasarawa, but there is the Bodija market. Is there anyone near Bodija market who would like to understand what the prices are in Bodija market? And we would post them regularly. So just again, I want to mention that for those of you interested in helping us with pricing, you don't need to give us all the commodities. You can just choose 1 or 2 commodities that you will consistently give us the price from your location. For example, palm oil. Palm oil is being traded from different regions, but how do we understand? What are the prices from everywhere? So we can help ourselves by, no, not Bodija market. Is that in Lagos? I don't think it's in Lagos. Yeah, Ibadan. Yeah, I'm talking about the one in Ibadan. The food market, you know. So you can just select 2 products and send it to us, the price, at least weekly. We would always update our page about those prices so that all of you can, everyone can know what the prices are, especially palm oil. I was talking about palm oil. So if you're doing palm oil, I am interested to keep getting what the prices are of palm oil from all the regions that produce palm oil. Now, somebody is asking what are the risks of entering agribusiness right now? I'll tell you, like any business, risk includes market volatility. Prices can go up and down depending on factors such as security, government policy. Yes, Okewa Ahmed Adelege, thank you very much. You said you will give updates on it. Thanks a lot. Yeah, so security, these challenges are there. Then logistics is a big problem in Nigeria. I don't know if we can solve logistics problem. I can tell you that 90% of Nigerian agriculture business would have been solved. Then with a thorough research and planning, you can reduce all these risks. So someone is asking, can international markets affect our local prices? Sure. Like I mentioned before, one of the reasons why prices are crashing now is because of the international market. Okay, yeah, easy hustler, you can cover south, south, and east, especially Onisha Ose market. Yes. So if you can give us regular pricing for palm oil, we'll be very, very happy. And if we can get that consistently, so that will help the community a lot. And of course, whoever is doing this job, we can arrange to cover his expenses. Then, yes, I was saying that international market prices can affect our local market. Most of the products that are being exported, I want to say something very important. That if you want to go into agriculture business, you must consider many factors in choosing your products. The products that are exported have their advantage, but they also have their disadvantage. Then the ones that are not exported have their advantage and they also have their disadvantage. So with your research, you can understand what advantages each of these have over the disadvantages for you to decide what product you want to trade. Like sesame seed we mentioned, you buy at a particular price, but it's controlled by the exchange rate. Then Egusi, on the other hand, yeah, this is my very first Egusi storage. Egusi, on the other hand, has no control of international markets, just local dynamics. So Egusi is a product that currently is being uh, controlled or impacted by the natural laws of economics, supply and demand. And there's just one season. So that's why I talk about Egusi a lot. And I would encourage anyone who wants to get into the business, you can start with a product like Egusi. Is a safe bet for you. You might not make 200% profit in your first year. Maybe that year you come into it might be 20%. Maybe the year you start it might be 200%. Who knows? But most times you would sell it at a higher price than the price you bought it if you follow my advice and timing for buying. So someone said, yeah, government policies, whether how government policies can support farmers. Government policies should focus on, like currently, should focus on the output farmers get from their products. That's why we are having prices coming down right now. It's affecting traders negatively, but in the long run, it will affect everybody positively. Because when prices are stable and low, you will still make your 100%, even if you don't have to sell at 100,000 naira per bag. If there are more people buying something that is going to cost like 20, 30,000 naira, then your turnover will be higher instead of having a few people getting to buy because it's too expensive and scaring everyone out of the market. So my advice is you should stay informed. Easy Hustler is asking about African hot pepper. African hot pepper is produced in many states, even in Nasarawa. I talk about Nasarawa a lot because it's where I know very well, like the palm of my hands. And pepper, I have never done it, but I understand it's a highly rewarding product. I can check more about pepper. If you're interested in the pepper, we can look at it. So anybody on the group who feels that he knows where to get the most commercially viable pepper in the country, you can write it down. And Prince Ahmed Nobakari is asking, please, where is the WhatsApp number? We would post the link here. I don't have the link now. Oseni, if you are listening, Oseni is my assistant. I'm sure you might have seen him responding to my messages. Oseni, if you are here, can you please send the WhatsApp link for followers to join? So, in the absence of any other thing, is there any other question that we haven't touched? And yeah, okay, Okeo Ahmed, you are suggesting grouping based on region and state strategies will go a long way. Okay, so I want to, what I'm actually planning to do for our country is to see how we can come together and organize agriculture business in the best way, not in a primitive way. a lot of things are done primitively. Now, one of the challenges we are facing about pricing is there is disorganized method of pricing all over the country. I told my boys we should be coming up with pricing for Nasarawa in the products that are produced there. But some people prefer to get the pricing in modules. And modules are not the same. Module is like a small basin. So the size of module differ from place to place. So the way exporters have forced locals into pricing sesame seed in kilograms, I think we should put our own effort in trying to understand this module pricing in kilograms so it is universal. What I know about ginger business is that it's highly profitable and is sold a lot to the South American countries. I have not done it. You get dried split ginger mostly from Kaduna region. Yeah, I haven't done it, but we can talk more about it. Do you want to go into exports or not? Because it depends. If you want to go into export, it's a different model of business. If you want to go into trading locally, it's a different model. So that's what I can tell you, James Friday. So back to what I was saying about having these groups based on region and states. Okay, Ahmed. Yes, so if we can actually have interested people that we will talk occasionally, it doesn't have to be the whole group. We can talk about having a community who want to do the business in a large scale, thereby mitigating each and everyone's risk and improving the cost of actually buying those products. Yeah, I would be happy to organize that setting. Also to talk about how we will be getting prices from most of the regions in Nigeria, because if we can always get prices from everywhere, then we will just have a platform where you don't need to call people, how much be price for this, how much be price for that. You just go into the platform and you see the price and you won't be cheated, you know, and people will hide prices from you. Another thing, even when you are buying sesame seeds, if you are blind, what I mean by blindness is if you don't have inside information from these exporters, you would lose money, because in the market, people are very secret. What I used to do when I started, there was this uh, Olam warehouse. It's funny, near where I operated. So I got one of the guys working at the Olam warehouse. He was a permanent staff, and I put him on my own payroll. So he was updating me, because Olam then they were the market makers. Market makers means if you go into the market, nobody is going to sell to you until they know what Olam is buying. So how do we know what Olam is buying? Because when they get into the market starts going up, and nobody is going to tell you the truth. So we get inside information from Olam through the person I pay. So he gives me the price. And with that price, I am guided how much I'm telling my boys and everyone buying on my behalf. This is the price we are buying today. Let's go into the market. And once you hit the farmers with that price, because they are not going to tell you the truth, you hit them with that price, then they will sell, because they know you know what the price is. Is Prince Ahmed is asking, please, is the Egusi peeled or unpeeled? It depends. You can trade anyone. I've only traded unpeeled Egusi. Initially, I used to think that hand-peeled Egusi was even more expensive than the machine-peeled one, but I came to understand that the machine-peeled Egusi cost more in Nasarawa than the hand-peeled ones. So if you're going to peel it, you're adding value. Of course, you make more money than selling the peeled one. But again, you have to consider the time and the resources to peel and everything. If you want to do retail business, maybe you don't have too much money, you have a small shop, then you can buy a few bags of egusi and process them, peel them yourself with a machine or whatever, and sell them in retail. You'll make a lot of money in that way. Otherwise, if your funds are beyond buying 2, 3 bags, you can buy like 20, 30, 50 bags or even 100 bags. Then just go for the unpeeled egusi. It saves you stress and the money will come out from it without having to do much. Okay, Margaret Gabriel is saying that pepper can be gotten in large scale in Pambegua in Kaduna State. All right, that's good. Yeah, I might even visit Kaduna State about this pepper. Uh, Someone is asking, when is Egusi season, please? Egusi season starts, planting starts in April. In the next few weeks, they will start planting Egusi when the rains just start coming. And harvest is usually in August, early August until late, early September. So, is there any other thing we haven't touched? We will drop a link to our WhatsApp community. Make use of the community. We are a group of serious-minded people who just want to do agriculture business, and the community is growing. And I hope that everyone listening is not just a listener, but is an action taker. The people who actually succeed are those who listen and take steps to succeed. Initially, it might be a bit daunting to want to invest money in agriculture because uh, people call it a dirty business, and people think it's a business for illiterates. But I can tell you, all over the world, agriculture is done by people who know what it is to build an economy of their own family livelihood and for the nation for which they actually live in. So I encourage you to take action, take steps, start safe. You don't need to, if you have loads of money and you want to go into export, you can contact me. Maybe you don't know what to do. We can guide you because the way you would approach the business, you have, for example, 1 billion, and the way somebody who has 10 million would approach the business, and the person who has 500,000, they are all different. So every particular funding has a specific way he should approach the business and be successful. So let me know in the comment section if we are all fine with what has been said. Any more question? If there's any more question, you can ask now. Otherwise, after that, you can reach me by email. And if you have, I'm open to ideas and suggestion about how to build our community of agriculture business. As time goes on, we will be organizing live fairs in Nigeria as well, where like minds, agribusiness people would network and not just talk, but actually make contacts, because agriculture is about contacts. If you are into buying of rice and you know a rice, you can find a rice, somebody who just bought a big machine to process rice. Where is he going to get the rice from? He needs people. So you can just be one of those people supplying him rice constantly. You've established your own business. The WhatsApp link is not there yet. Okay, I will drop it in the comment. Let me text you this phone number. I hope I can write on this stuff. On our WhatsApp number. Let me find our WhatsApp number. I don't even know how to. Okay, yeah. I'm going to type the number here now. 0902 997 0734. Yes, so if you send a message to this phone number, then we'll send you the link for the WhatsApp group. Then Blessed Bulus, you are welcome. You come from where ginger is produced. Yeah, where it's cultivated. Okay, that's good. So have you traded ginger before, or you are just in the environment of money, but just watching the money pass by? I think you should get involved. Bamidele Oluwaseun is asking, well done, what about the trading platform? The trading platform is still going on and is open for use. But what we are not doing, we are not handling your logistics or your payment. Like recently, people have asked us what have we put in place to check incidences of trust. For example, somebody wants to sell Egusi to somebody in Lagos. Somebody wants to sell rice from Kano to somebody in Calabar, for example. So how do they fix that trust? How do they fix that trust? So now we created a system that is only available on request. It's on our Farm to Trade website. So you can find it if you go there. It's an escrow service system that you request it if both buyers and sellers have found that, okay, yes, what this guy is saying seems true, what the seller is saying seems true, but who will send first? Do I make him send his goods first, or do I pay him first? So nobody wants to take a risk. So that escrow system has come to solve that problem. So there is a fee, of course, for us handling that transaction, where the buyer pays that money upfront into the account of the escrow. The money doesn't go to the seller. All the seller has to do now, trusting our system, is to now send his goods to the buyer, because the buyer has shown seriousness. So the seller has to show seriousness. And the seller will only send those goods after the buyer has somehow confirmed the quality from the location before the seller sells it. So we can also help in that aspect. Maybe the seller is in Calabar, he doesn't know how to get somebody in Kano. We will ask him for his requirements and specification. Then we will use our network to ask somebody in Kano to go and verify both picture and everything. So it's like a third party verifying that product at a minimal fee. Then the seller sends the product to that person. And once the person confirms receipt of that product, of which, since we are handling the escrow, we will also be involved, then we will finally transfer the money to the seller. But in cases of dispute, maybe goods arrive and all that, they will find a way to sort the problem. But the key thing is that we have seen the buyer actually wanted to buy. That's why he sent money. And the seller will confirm his goods. So these two ingredients are very important for any business to succeed in this aspect. Okay. Somebody by Saint Nimpa is suggesting The very, very honest ones among us can form a cooperative group that deals only agricultural produce with you as our chairman. Thanks. Yeah, this is why I mentioned this, because even by phone call, uh, quite a number of people who have bought my books and we have spoken, and they keep coming up with this suggestion. Initially, I was trying to shy away from it, but when too many people are talking about a particular thing, then I started giving ears to it. So yeah, we should form a WhatsApp group first, and anybody who wants to be in that WhatsApp group, just specifically for the cooperative or the crowdfunding stuff, should send that message to that number I posted. So if we have maybe between 10 to 20 people who have indicated interest, then we can form the group. Or if you think that we don't need that many people, you can still share the message to me, and we will talk about it and know exactly how much the number we need to form that cooperative to actually help develop the group. Because the purpose of this group is to actually give information that impact directly on people's lives, not just uh, talking, or there are a lot of theoretical things that don't work in the real life, but we focus more on things that right in front of you, you see it working. I think I'm getting messages on that phone. Somebody sending a message on the phone. Let me see. Okay. You want to join? Okay, I will add you to the platform. I've seen your message. Okay, I will add all the messages I've gotten. I'm going to add it to the group once I'm done with this live call. So, in the absence of anything, I'm going to wish you all a very good weekend. And I was in Lagos recently. I could only meet one person. I'll be in Abuja soon as well, and Kano. So I want us to grow our community and develop the agriculture business in Nigeria. And in no time, people will see this industry as an industry that has developed to a point where a lot of people want to come in. So thank you all for your time, and all the best. Okay, Ahmed Adeleke, Ginger is in Kaduna. Yes, that's very correct. Abeokuta. I've not been to Abeokuta I've never been to Abeokuta, but I like to travel. I like to visit places. You can't imagine the kind of places I've been to in Nigeria. Some very, very remote places, just because I'm looking for these agriculture products to make me money. Yeah, I'll be sharing my movements on the WhatsApp group so that if I'm in a particular city, we can hold a small meeting, get together, something like that, and you can put a real life face to the face you've been watching. So anyway, thank you all, and I wish you all the best. Signing out now.